Opening. It's beautiful.
All right, do you see that? That's a fail. How much money do you spend on a car like this to have that? I mean, come on guys, powerfrunk is not a big deal. Everybody has them, they come on their cars. Well, Tesla decided not to put them on, even the most expensive. This is a Model 3 Performance. That's a performance model there. Updated 2025 plus, and it doesn't come with a powerfrunk. Well, no worries, Hansshow has the fix. I don't know why that's so much fun. So we're going to do like a quick unboxing, take a closer look at what's in the kit, and then full install. Be aware I might reuse some redundant footage, but I offer a bunch of little tips and tricks to make the install go easier and just better overall. And after watching this, if you're too uncomfortable to do a DIY, look me up in Chicagoland area, find my Instagram link below, and we'll work something out. Speaking of links, all the links are down below, and remember to use a discount code TESLAMARK. It will save you the most amount of money and works at all the best places. And it will save you more than those pop-up codes do, okay? So try it out. All right, let's go with the install. These kits have come a long way, and it actually, the boxes are getting smaller and smaller. The kits are just getting more easy to install and more sophisticated. They've made a number of improvements. First big improvement I want to mention right off the bat are these brackets. The brackets that are on the Tesla, and we'll get into all of this on the install, but the brackets that come on the Tesla, they're made out of what feels like some kind of a die-cast metal, and they have been known to snap and break with using these power struts on there. So what Hansshow did was include these upgraded, definitely more heavy-duty metal brackets, so that is no longer an issue. So yeah, we've got our power struts, which we'll be installing first, and nice fishing line. The brain box behind the operation. This is the latch mechanism. This is going to basically open and close the hood. And then here we have all of our wiring loom to give us some zip ties in there. Everything is nicely labeled. All right, and then here we've got a safety. So in case you don't have power, in case something goes wrong with this kit, I'm going to show you how to install this so that you can manually open up your frunk. And then this nice big double-sided foam tape, we're going to use that most likely for the brain there to mount that. So, all right, let's get this thing on the car. Can't wait. There are even more updates on the install of this kit, so be sure to watch my install and pay attention to these little cut-ins that I'm going to do, these little breaking updates to make sure that you're doing this correctly. They're not covered in the Hansshow videos, in the manuals. They did send out a sheet with an update on there, but I tell you how to do it here, as well as, like I said, there's a bunch of little tips to help you do this install. Since we're going to be taking off the hood struts, the hood will want to come down. We need something to keep it propped up. I've got an old mop that I used, no big deal. Just make sure you put whatever you use to prop it up. Don't put it on like these softer spots here. You know, you don't want to dent the hood. The hood's really light. On the Model Y, there's just one replacement bracket. On the Model 3 here, Highland, there's two of them, and so this also has to be removed, this rubbery plastic cover. Take these off here, here. And these look like two 10mm bolts, and we will upgrade the bracket with this guy. Before you take this off, you need to mark where this is. Why? Because if this is off, your hood will not be aligned once it's shut. And you will spend a lot of time trying to readjust this to get the hood to line up where it used to be, assuming it was good to begin from the factory. So put some tape down. You could try to use a black Sharpie, but it's going to be a little bit hard to see. But if you've got some kind of a silver, red, I don't know, some oil pen or something like that, you can mark where this was so that you're going to have a much easier time lining it up when you put it back in. Breaking update. These switches here, there are two switches there. They need to be bent. The metal tabs here need to be bent so that it is not making contact right here like this. So they are showing it in this picture, you can see. So we need to bend these, which I'm going to do now. And what I'm going to do is use two different pair of pliers. I'm going to use one to hold this here and then another one to hold it here and bend it in here. I don't want to break this switch. I'm sure you could buy another one. That's a great thing actually about Tesla is you can go to the Tesla dealerships. Actually, you can go online and order different parts, go to the dealership, pick them up, and they're relatively cheap. I haven't done that for this. I don't want to break this, however. So I'm going to use two different pair of pliers to try to bend both of these. All right, so I bent the metal here with a couple different pair of needle nose pliers. Probably didn't even need to use two different set of pliers. I think you can just bend this tab up. But I did want it to come a little bit down, although I'm not even sure that that matters much. What this does is when the hood goes down, and this is already kind of locked a little bit, but this tells the car that the hood is closed, and then when it goes back up, it tells it that it's open. So when these two are touching, it's just confusing the power frunk. So they need to not be touching these little switches. Just bend them up a little bit. Don't get crazy with it, but no big deal. The other update here, this little nut needs to be tightened or make sure that it's tight, and that is here on the Hansshow piece. This little guy here, I'm not sure exactly what size that is. Honestly, I just used a pair of pliers, and it did tighten up a little bit. So yeah, make sure that that is tight. Actually, I pushed this down a little far, and the latch closed, but I'll show how to get that back up, because we're not going to be able to close the hood with this with this latch like this. But don't worry. So we line everything back up with our tape, and then tighten it up. And it's not only up and down, it's left and right as well. I'm actually going to leave the tape on until like I am completely done and know that the hood is like lined up just right. All right, now we're going to run this backup manual opener through the front of the bumper here and out of this. All right, this super secret little opening, you've got to open this up by pushing here, and a lot of times you got to like pry it underneath here too. And these can help get you out of a jam. I've got a whole video I'm going to point to. This you can use to pop open your frunk in case of an emergency. You're going to need a 9-volt or 12-volt battery. I've got a whole other video on how to jump your Tesla, so check that out. But for now, let's run this cable through there and out here. All right, turns out, looking down here, it is very easy to see that opening. See that? All right, since I think this is going to be mounted back here, we're going to take this, loop it through here, feed it through here. Voila, easy. So now let's zip tie all of this together. Tighten that up. All right, let's start the wiring. And yeah, this does seem like intimidating, but the good news is none of the plugs are really the same. So you can't like cross them up or mess them up. It's just finding out where they go. Okay, if you remember, I accidentally basically locked this. So what I'm going to do now is unlatch it manually, and I think this should do it. It did. It pops up a little bit, I don't want to say violently, but yeah, it's spring loaded, so that's what happens. So now this is in a position so that this hood latch can go down there, trigger the powerfrunk, and then normally go in here and like do the normal thing with the latch and lock and everything else. What I'm going to do though, before we like test this electrically, that's going to involve actually plugging this back in here. This is the button to, you know, if you get trapped inside the frunk, which, you know, as adults, I'm sure that happens to a lot of us. But anyway, this button will actually trigger the frunk to go up and down. We can test that here. But before we do that, I'm going to set up a little manual pull string here so that just in case something goes on and this trunk locks down, we don't have to use that manual thing. We can use this little little pull string that I'm going to attach right here. All right, so this is my little manual pull string, and just got it attached here to the string, and I'm going to leave this out. Plug this back in. All right, I think we're set. Here it is, guys, the big test. All right, maybe it just needed to like sync up or something. Let me see what goes on now. There we go. Oh yeah. All right, here we are. Fairly neat. Got some big zip ties for this this motor here. Just wrapped it there. Zip tied most of this up. This is going to plug into that switch, and we've got zip tied here. This brain, I actually disconnected it and reconnected it like back up here, and then pushed it back down there. Used some of that double-sided foam tape that they gave us and taped it there. Could have taped it here, but like outside in this area, you're going to get a little bit more water and things, just, you know, from the environment. Up here it's a little bit more protected. You know, just zip tied here where I could. Nothing crazy, but just kind of kept everything just tucked. Didn't want everything kind of flying around, you know. Nothing crazy. The things you want to avoid is that the frunk actually bolts down here, so you don't want anything here. So like I have these wires here, that is a no-no. These will get crushed, or they could be zip tied. Actually, I might just zip tie them up here. That's going to be a better move. I'll zip tie them up here. Otherwise, there is actually a decent amount of clearance around here. That tub leaves a decent amount of clearance. It's a little bit surprising, but then down here you have like zero clearance, so keep that in mind. So yeah, I'm going to zip tie that back up, and then we're going to put the frunk and everything back in.